2015 at about 1:30 p.m. And before you get all psycho on me, okay, I'm going to talk about weed and pot, marijuana. Okay, before you get all psycho on me, I got some good things to say about it. Okay, I got some good things to say about it, so don't get all psycho on me. If you're a pot user or a pothead, you know, just don't get all psycho on me. I got some good things and I got some bad things to say about pot. First, I've never used it, and I never plan to use it. I never want to use it. I never have wanted to use it. Okay, because in the 60s, the government, you know, fed us a bunch of bullshit that, you know, pot is a psycho drug that makes you go psycho, and you'll die if you use it, and you'll steal and you'll kill to pay for your habit of pot use. That's the U.S. government, what they used to tell us back in the 60s. And I know that for a fact to be bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. And they were trying to say pot was like the worst, pot or marijuana or weed was the worst thing out there that you could ever possibly, you know, once you smoke just a little, you know, just one little smoke, man. When I say one hit, you're hooked. That's incorrect. That's so you know, the government's pushing bullshit down your throat, and that you know, is bullshit. They don't even know nothing about pot even today. They don't even want to know. They don't want to know because they don't want to have a natural thing that you can grow and cure damn near anything. You know, not cure it, but make it so it ain't gonna kill you, or make it so you can live with it. And I'll tell you why that is. That pot could be a miracle drug. Could be a miracle drug, and that's why the U.S. government don't want anybody to study it. And as of today, hardly anybody does study it. And the people who want to study it try to get the government to pay, you know, some money so they can do research on it. The government won't say no dice. They're saying no dice. You know why? Because the government don't want you to be able to grow something in your house naturally, and that will help you on like most diseases or sicknesses. You know, that because of the CBD in it. It's not the THC. THC does nothing for you other than get you high. It's the only thing THC does. Now, once you remove the THC, when a pot plant is grown to obtain, so it has a high CBD content in it, or a high percentage of CBD, now the THC drops. It drops so low that you can smoke over 100 joints and not even feel a buzz on it. Not even feel a buzz. Okay, that's a special strain of weed. Okay, that's a special strain. And it's not that hard to grow it that way. But no one does. The street use of pot wants a high THC. The higher the better, because you get higher. You know, the more THC in your pot, the higher you can get. Okay, and one truth about pot that's everybody knows is you can't overdose on it. You cannot overdose on pot, even if you smoke 1,000 joints. You can't overdose on pot. Okay, that's the only truth that's on the internet or on the street of pot users. That's the only one truth. When a pot user or when someone tells you that no one has died from pot, they're a liar. They're a flat out liar. And you know, it's a proven fact that they're a flat out liar. They're lying to you. Okay, because there's thousands of people who die of pot use yearly. Just like cigarette, you know, just like regular smoking cigarette, there's, you know, hundreds of thousands of people dying of cigarette use. It's not the cigarette use, it's the side effects. Same thing with the pot, same thing with the weed, marijuana, same thing. It's not the marijuana, it's not the use of marijuana. It's the side effects of marijuana. That's what kills you. And the number one cause of genital cancer, you know, for men and women, genital cancer, guess what it is? It's pot use. That's the number one cause of genital cancer. That's the that's the number one cause of genital cancer is pot use. Okay, that's the number one cause. Number one cause. And it also causes lung cancer. Any smoke or irritant in your lungs can cause cancer. And pot does cause cancer. It does. It causes cancer. The reason a doctor would prescribe it for a cancer patient would be to relieve pain. What he's doing is he's outweighing, he's weighing the goods and bads of pot use in a person who has cancer, just like he does with any other drug. Okay, this person, you know, is able to smoke pot because he's in pain. It relieves the pain, but it does contribute to the cancer, though. It helps the cancer, because the only environment that cancer can't survive in is a high calcium percent environment. That's the only environment that cancer can't survive in. But it does survive in an acid environment, which if you have an acid body, and you can test that by like a 5-cent test on your tongue and your saliva to see how acid your body is. The more acid, the more you're able to get more cancer, and the stronger the cancer you're going to get. And that's just, that's fact. The more acid your body is, the more susceptible to cancer and other diseases you are. You don't want a high acid environment in your body. You don't want that, because that causes that'll. If you don't have a disease now, you're very susceptible to getting a disease. Okay, not to get off the subject. I'm talking about pot here. I'm talking about marijuana, pot use, weed, and the word on the street and the word to a lot of pot users is that no one has died from pot use. That's incorrect. That's like saying no one has died from smoking. Regular cigarettes. No one has died from that. See, they're both semi-correct, because they don't die from the actual smoking cigarette, and they don't die from the actual smoking the weed. They die from the side effects of it. And like I said, the number one cause of genital cancer in men and women is genital cancer. That's number one. It's number one side effect of pot. That's the number one cause of genital cancer is pot use. That's right. And the thing is, though, when you grow pot to have a high percentage of CBD, that's the medical part of the pot. CBD is the medical part, and you can't get high off the medical part. Sorry guys. There's no way in hell you can get high off this CBD that's in marijuana. No matter how high or how high the content of CBD it is, you can't get high off CBD. Now THC is a different story. This is the street pot. The higher the THC, the more better and easier to sell. The more the users want it. The higher the THC. And it used to be only 1 to 2%. Now it's like 36%. It can be like 36% THC. Why? It's just to get you high. That's it. THC does nothing for nothing else. THC is the only thing that does to you is get you high. It doesn't cure anything, and it doesn't stop anything. It doesn't help anything. All it does is get you high. And the high part, you being high, is a pain reliever. So that's the only way. That's the only thing that they can say medical use for marijuana is because it gives you the benefit of relieving pain. That's the only thing. It doesn't cure nothing. Has never cured nothing. Like I said, many people die of it yearly. Die of pot use. Many people, because it's the side effects. Just like cigarettes. Oh, no one dies of cigarettes. They don't die. They don't die of smoking cigarettes. They don't die of that. They die of the side effects of it, cancer, and other things, stroke. And that's another bad thing about pot is the first couple minutes that you smoke pot, your heart rate doubles, so your chances of getting a heart attack are very good. It's a very good chance of you getting a stroke because it doubles your heart rate. And that's for first, like, after you've smoked just the first few times, it'll keep your heart rate up for 5-10 minutes after you smoke it. And right there is your very high probability of stroke, very high probability of heart attack at that point. Right after you smoke pot. Yep, same thing like with cigarettes. They die of stroke and cancer. Cigarettes and pot or weed have a lot in common. They both cause cancer, they both cause strokes, they both cause heart attacks. Except for pot is more so, because with cigarettes your heart rate doesn't double, where pot use it does. It doubles to more than doubles. So that's the perfect time for you to get a stroke, perfect time for you to get a heart attack, and it causes cancer. And like I said, the only reason why a doctor would prescribe pot use for a cancer patient is to relieve the pain, even though he knows that cancer is a side effect of using pot. So that right there is going to correct a lot of you people who smoke pot, because now you know, and you don't have to go ask your buddy down the street who's selling the pot, and he's going to tell you everything good about it because he wants to sell you it. I'll sell you this light, well, this light can, if you shine it over there, you get a Corvette. If you shine it over there, you get a $1 million house. I'll sell you this light, for $20. So you get the wrong information from the wrong people, and that's how people say, "Oh, no one's never died of pot. No one's never died of pot use." That's a lie. That's the biggest lie I've heard. Now the CBD in pot is a very good medical use. It's very good for medical use. CBD, unfortunately, the higher the CBD content, the higher the percentage of CBD in pot, the lower the THC. Means if it's even if CBD is even mildly high in weed or marijuana, even mildly, it drops the THC way down, where you can't even get high off it. Even if you smoke 100 joints, you can't. It's impossible to get high off of weed, of marijuana. It's impossible with a high CBD, but no one grows it that way because no one wants it. They want the high THC, which does nothing medically. Does nothing medically other than get you so high, it relieves your pain. That's but most drugs will do that. So there, it's not a miracle drug. It's not a miracle drug at all. Not THC. Part that gets you high. That's not the miracle part. It's the CBD in it. Part that it doesn't get you high. Just regular growing marijuana, you have a little bit of CBD. So that's a little bit of a medical, medical use part, but very little. It's so mild that you almost can't count that as medical use. And the higher the THC, the lower that goes. So the higher the THC, the lower the CBD, which is the medical part of it. So what the government ought to do is just restrict marijuana growers' use, or the way they use it, or the way they grow it. Okay, the way they grow it. Okay, all U.S. government has to do, okay, say, okay, here's your pot card. You can grow it, sell it all day long if you want, as long as it has a high CBD percent in it. If it doesn't have a high CBD percent in it, then it should be classified as a deadly drug, a very dangerous drug. Then it should be, you should be treated as a drug dealer if it's got more than like a half a percent of THC in it. I would say it would have to have at least less than 0.5%, because less than 0.5% will make it so you won't be able to get high. You can smoke it all day long, 100, 200 joints, and you never get high. So like I said, with a high CBD percent in marijuana, as far as getting high, marijuana, weed, or pot is no good to you. It will be no good to you to get high if it has even a mildly high CBD percent, because that's what happens when you grow marijuana. It just naturally grows with a little bit of, if you put a seed in the ground and just put water on it, and do nothing else, it just naturally grows with a very little bit of CBD, which that's the medical part, and like a 1% THC, 1 or 2% THC. Okay, and street use can be up to like 36% THC. That's street use, and that's like the high top of the line though. I think what the normal is like 3 or 4%. If you're not trying to grow it for with a high THC percent, which most street users are. They are trying to grow it with a high THC, because the higher the THC, the less you have to use to get to a high level, to certain high levels. And either way, any way you do it, you want with a high CBD or a high THC. Either way you grow it, you can't overdose on it. That's a fact. That's one fact that is true. Now, the other fact where no one's died from the use of marijuana, that's so incorrect. It's a lie, and that's very provable that many people do die. Thousands of people die of marijuana use a year. So that's incorrect. I know how they got around to it. Saying, "Oh, no one's ever died of this. Here you go. Here's some candy for you." That's for someone who doesn't know anything about marijuana at all. Or if they do know about it, they know about it from the street, what the street has to say, not what medical people have to say. It's been studied a little bit, but the reason why the U.S. government don't want you studying it and won't support you to study it, if I go to the government saying, "Hey, I want some money to start studying marijuana so I know everything about it," right? You have to go through so much red tape, and they ain't gonna do it anyway, because the U.S. government is behind the multi-billion-dollar drug industry, and if I can grow something that do the same thing as, say, 5 or 10 drugs that they're going to sell me, or even 2 drugs that they're going to sell me, and I can grow it naturally with growing marijuana, growing weed naturally in my house, or out in the yard if the law would permit that. Like Jamaica and North Korea both don't believe it's even a drug, but we know it's a drug. It's that's undisputable. Marijuana is a drug, and we know it is. That's undisputable, and that's a fact. But as far as North Korea, they'll shoot you for a wrong hairstyle, and if you have the wrong hairstyle, North Korea has the right to shoot you dead if you're caught with a Bible in your hand. You know, just a Bible. They're authorized to kill you on the spot. North Korea. Now Jamaica is a little more relaxed, but Jamaica is also, it's always been legal in, you know, pot or weed has always been legal in Jamaica, and that's one of the number one crops. That's where Jamaica gets a lot of their money from, is selling weed. But and North Korea has never had it outlawed either. North Korea, you can grow it like you do corn out in your yard. You can grow it right out in your yard like you do corn in Jamaica and North Korea. So if you're intent on using pot, which I highly suggest against, because I've never wanted to smoke pot, and I never want to, and I still today, on 8/2/2015, I still don't want to have anything to do with pot at all. Now if I come sick, you know, if I become sick in that, and pot's going to be, you know, a good option, shit, man, I can use it like that. I don't give a fuck what the government says. Shit, that's bullshit. If it's going to save my life, if I'm going to die, if I don't do it, you know, if I don't use the pot, which is, you know, against the law, I'm going to do it. I could care less what the law said, really, you know, if it's going to help me. But anyway, the reason why the U.S. government don't want you to know about pot and the CBD in it is because they don't want you able to put a few seeds in the ground, start growing it, and then you know, grow it a little bit special so that you get a high CBD. And it's not that much harder, I guess. I guess it's not that much harder to get a higher CBD. You just gotta add some stuff to it, I guess. I'm not sure how to grow it. I have to look it up to grow a high CBD percent pot, because if it's even mildly high, then, you know, even if you smoked 100 joints, you wouldn't get high. You could go out and drive your car just like I could go out there and drive it now after 100 joints, because the CBD, when it goes together when you're growing a pot plant. The higher the CBD, the lower the THC. So, and THC does nothing for medical use at all. You know, that does nothing for it. It's the CBD in marijuana that does the medical part. So, like I said, all the U.S. government has to do is say, okay, here's your card. You can sell it to anybody. You can grow as many plants as you want. Sell it to many people as you want, any state you want, as long as it has a certain percentage of CBD. Because see, once it has a certain percentage of CBD, the THC has to be low. It can't be high THC and high CBD. They go against each other. So once the government says a certain percentage of CBD, now, you know, if they find you selling it, and it has, you know, like a 1% THC, they know the CBD is low in it, and that's what that's what they can say as a dangerous drug, and say you are now a street dealer, no matter card or no card. And you'd see so many people ripping their card up, burning it, like the draft back in the '60s draft. You'd see so many people ripping their card up and burning it. It wouldn't even be funny. And that's all the government has to do, is say, okay, you can grow as much pot as you want as long as it has a certain CBD percent in it. Right there would eliminate everybody. You know, I'd say 99% of people who have pot cards. That eliminate everybody from growing it. They would go back underground and grow at THC, grow a high THC percent. Because that's what you're going to get top dollar for. Is the higher the THC, the higher the price you can charge for marijuana. Not if it has a high CBD, you won't even be able to put it out in the street and let someone steal it from you. They won't do it. You can put it right out in the street, and you know, say New York Grand Central Station, Put it right out there. No one would want it. You could have a barrel of that shit, you know, say 50-pound barrel, or no, nice easy 10-pound bag. Let's say 10-pound bag of marijuana. If it was a high CBD percent, you couldn't give it away. Can't give it away, except for people who are sick. People who are really sick and really need medical use marijuana. Yeah, those people will pay, you know, $1,000 an ounce. And because it's almost like a miracle drug, the CBD in it. The CBD in it's almost like a miracle drug. Unfortunately, it doesn't get you high at all. If you smoke over 100 joints, if you smoked over 100 joints, it wouldn't get you high at all. You sit there and smoke it all day long, one right after another. Chain smoke it, you know, from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, and you won't get high. Not with a high CBD percent. But no one wants that. And that's basically what I got to say. See, so I got some good things about marijuana. It's just, you know, it rains on your high parade. You know, it won't get high. It rains on your high parade. I mean, I'd be giving you a plan to actually cure you, or not cure you, but help you, whatever, because it isn't known for any type of cure. But
Good afternoon. The indoor temperature is 79.7 degrees Fahrenheit. The outdoor temperature is 91.1 degrees Fahrenheit.
that's my talking thermometer. So it must be 2 o'clock. Must be 2 o'clock p.m. on 8/2/2015. And what I was saying about the reason why the U.S. government don't want you, finding out about pot, studying it. They don't want you studying it because if you can grow something natural, it's going to cure damn near anything, or it's going to help you out. And it doesn't cure because there's no statistical facts or no study that shows that pot cures anything. But watch some of those YouTube videos, and these kids that have epileptic seizures, one right after another, and 100 seizures a day, they take it, and they're not even doing one seizure a day, or they're maybe doing one seizure a day, and then after a while, after on it, then it goes less and less. So, right there looks like a cure for epileptic seizures, but and this other guy with a stomach ailment that his muscles contract and expand and contract and make him sound like he sounds like this all the time. Until he does like this a couple times, and now he's talking like me. See, but that's a high CBD percent. That's not the THC. THC does nothing for nothing, and that's the reason why the U.S. government don't want you studying marijuana, because you'll find out that weed or marijuana can be a miracle drug, without the THC, and that's why the U.S. government don't want you studying it, because then they lose another person that don't need their drugs, don't need to buy the multi-billion-dollar business every year. The U.S. government, is behind the drug industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar business a year. And if you don't have to have their, 5 or 6 drugs, just to keep you alive, and you're using the high CBD marijuana, and you can grow that, for next to nothing in your house, and it helps out on a lot of things. They're saying Alzheimer's, they're saying Parkinson's disease, they're saying high blood pressure, they're saying let's see, what else is there? They're saying high blood pressure, they're saying diabetes, See now, if all these people get off the drugs and start taking the CBD, then it can be extracted from the marijuana plant and given to the mouth, or it can be smoked, or it can be injected. Now, if they find out, oh, this high CBD in the marijuana will damn near cure them, you think they're going to buy them drugs? No. So that multi-billion-dollar business is going to go maybe $1 million, if that, if all these people get off what the U.S. government's feeding them, you know, which is bullshit. But that's what I have to say about the high CBD marijuana. Now that's the only good part of marijuana for you. THC is not. That does nothing for your body. THC is foreign to your body. THC, your body does not want THC, and that's the part that gets you high. Once you take that THC factor out there, no one would want the drug other than people who are sick, which it should be. Then it's medical use marijuana. Well, that's all. That's what I got to say about marijuana, weed, or pot. And it could be a miracle drug, but it's not going to get you high if it is. So, you know, good and bads. I hate to rain on your parade, but hey, that's the facts. If it's a high CBD content weed, it won't get you high because it lowers the THC so low that, you know, you can smoke on your joints, and you can go out there and walk a straight line and drive the car like you ain't done nothing, and you can't you can't OD on any of it anyway. So, you know, what I say, same time, same channel. See you then.